Hello once again, listeners. This is episode 42 of Power Rangers in Cyberspace, brought to you once again in video, courtesy of my co-host, Christian Ingram, the Power Rangers guy.
Hello.
Hello. We are back on video on your YouTube channel, the Power Rangers guy.
Yes, sir.
What's new on your channel?
Actually, I haven't done many videos lately because I've been waiting on my new computer to come in, and my old computer I wanted to bang the thing up against the wall. Took 20 minutes for Windows Movie Maker to load a video.
How long of a video?
A 3-minute video.
That's way too long.
It has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it was from 2007.
Yeah, I think my Linux toy PC that I just use to just play with has 2 or 3 gigs, and it's from 2009.
Yeah, my new computer has 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Oh, that's it?
Shit. That was expensive.
I know. What'd you get? 2 times 16?
Yeah, DDR4.
Ooh.
Yeah, the fancy stuff.
The new stuff.
Fancy.
Means it's expensive.
I think I spent over like $1,500 on this whole thing. It's not the case because my power supply won't fit in there.
Yeah, if you hear a slight white noise, that's your fan outside of the case. Just kind of there.
Nothing I can do about it. Not at this point. Every computer shop in my area is closed on Sunday, so it's not like I could go pick up a case anywhere.
Yeah, isn't that nice? The nice thing about living in the South is that everything closes at 6 o'clock on a weekday, and you're lucky if they're open on Sunday, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I mean, Richmond's kind of different because a lot of stuff is open on Sunday, like especially restaurants, but it's like local stuff and like comic stores and small stuff like computer shops all closed on Sundays, and they close at 6.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know it all too well. Living in Raleigh, I could deal with it being a little in the north where, from Pennsylvania, doctors are open until 9 every day, 7 on Sundays, and they're open 12 to 5 or 7 on Saturdays and 12 to 5 on Sundays. So it's nice.
But that's
convenient.
That southern mentality.
Yep. Gotta go to church.
I haven't been to church in
long time.
Very long time.
When I lived in Greensboro, probably 4 or 5 years ago, there was a few comments that were made about me to my neighbors that was, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't do yard work on Sundays." It's like, that's the time I have to do it. I'm going to do it.
I'd have been like, okay, I won't do them on Sundays, but you got to do them. Like, if you don't want me doing it on Sundays, you can do it through the week for me. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll chill out on Sundays. I'd love to chill out on Sundays.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I got stuff to do, and I only have Sunday to get it done. So, sorry. So, I wanted to bring up to you, I had a question for you. Because you're new here, and that's not a bad thing. I think it's time to brand the listeners. Not with a hot poker made of iron and a fire.
Oh, man, I thought that's what we were talking about, because that would be fun.
I think there's somebody from Smallville that's going to jail for that.
Oh, yeah.
So, want to tread lightly here.
Oh, I was just joking. It was a joke, guys. Just joke. My hands are here.
This podcast is for comedic effect.
But
don't look at my eyes on the video.
There goes the phone. I'm going to put that on airplane mode because I thought I did that.
Maybe I'm here. There. That's what the clipping is. We figured out what the clipping was from the pre-show.
My bad.
That's okay. So where was I? Oh, so I think it's time to verbally. No, that still sounds bad. I think it's time to give our listeners a brand name. So I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking Spacers because the show is Power Rangers in Cyberspace, but that sounds kind of like, hey, you're out there, man, you're spacing. So I was thinking maybe Space Bars.
That works too.
Yeah. Okay.
Either or. How about you let the listeners decide?
The listeners don't comment on any posts.
Well, they need to.
You know what? I'll put a poll up on Instagram.
Put a poll up on Instagram, guys. You hear that?
Can you do that? Is that a feature of Instagram?
Yeah, it's not really a feature, but you can put
Oh,
a
yeah,
photo of
Like,
and just be like, all right, which one y'all want, and then they comment the which one they want.
there you go. Or we'll do it this way. Like if you like the post, then it will be one option. If you comment anything, it'll be the other option. Or you can write it in. But I'll just take basically I'll take the top. I'll take the count, the likes versus the comments, and that'll be the name.
Okay.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up off screen, because I don't know where my camera goes to. So, yeah, well, I'm like thumbs up, like right over here on the left, just outside of. See if I go right here. Whoop, there it is. There's my thumb right there.
I can see it. There we go. We're good.
There it is. Yay!
Yay! We can see his thumb.
We figured out how video cameras work.
Barely.
Jeez. So today, any other news? I'm sorry. I think I cut you off there.
News. Well, Bandai is not going to be releasing the last two Psycho Rangers. So FML.
Yeah, you were pretty well. Can you get the imports?
No, they're not even like the yellow and pink. They're not releasing them anywhere.
Oh.
So there's no way in hell anybody's getting a full set, and they're talking about not even releasing the black.
Did they ever release the green, even though it wasn't in the show?
They released the green at San Diego Comic-Con, which I got a hold of one. I paid $80 for one.
Because that was in the show, in the comic.
Yeah, it was in the comic. Apparently, they're doing. God, what was that series? It was one of the Super Sentai seasons in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It was God, which one was it? Anyway, they're adding a Green Ranger to one of those for a prequel comic to Mighty Morphin. And the Green Ranger from that season is going to end up killing all those Rangers from the Super Sentai, which whatever, and then he's going to become the Green Psycho Ranger.
There was I did read about half of an article that talked about the history of the Green Psycho Ranger from goes back to the 1800s and some love triangle. It was like,
yeah, that's what it was about.
And I was like, that's cool. I mean, sure. I don't know who any of these characters are, so okay.
It's bad. The comic has the best storyline going.
Oh my goodness. I haven't read anything beyond. I haven't read the new 31, 2, or 3 yet.
I haven't either. I own them, but I haven't read them.
Same. I every time I start to, something happens and I gotta stop and I'm like, oh, come on, work, leave me alone.
I just wait for them to come out online or on YouTube, because first off, I don't like touching my comics because I'm weird. I like collecting them. I just don't like touching them because I don't want to mess up the pages.
You don't want to open that crease or bend the spine at all.
Yeah, no, I'm very I have the which one is it, the Dragon Ball? You ever seen the Dragon Ball Fusion poster from 2005 where
No, I probably know which one you're talking about.
Goku and Vegeta fusing, and then they have Gogeta in the middle. I got the comic book cover like that for Shattered Grid with the green and white Ranger with Draken.
Mm-hmm.
I got that from PMC, framed it. I don't want anybody touching that. I got the other exclusive one from PMC signed by Kyle Higgins, the god of the Power Rangers universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the I bought one on eBay. It was that exclusive from WonderCon, which had the Hyperforce Rangers on it. Only reason I bought it was because it had Time Force Silver on it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weakness for silver. I don't know why. That's my favorite color. Everybody's like, that's not a color. I'm like, it kind of is.
Wasn't Time Force 6th Ranger Quantum?
Silver was in Hyperforce, though.
Oh, okay. So
they made it up.
Sure. They retconned it.
Yeah, it's whatever. It looks nice. My friend's supposed to be 3D printing me a Time Force Silver helmet. Jake, if you're watching or listening to this, you need to get on that ASAP there, buddy.
Yeah, Jake, I think we should talk because I need some stuff too.
Yeah, Jake.
My cousin my cousin actually has a 3D printer business, completely unrelated to the show, but that and a CNC machine business. I'm like, hey, we should talk because we're family.
That discount's real.
Yeah, he's like, do you want to buy one? I'm like, maybe.
Or do you just want to give it to me?
I was like, hey, I have a whole storage unit full of reclaimed wood. He's like, how old? I'm like, 1860s. He's like, we might be able to work something out.
Well, I mean, free is free, right?
Free is my favorite F word.
It's my second favorite F word.
I know. Right behind Friends Forever.
Sure. Wait, did you... Speaking of Friends, did you watch the Christmas episode on December 1st?
No, I have not. How bad was it?
I actually liked it. It mainly focused on Peter and Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so good. They fought Sledge. It wasn't as long as I'd liked, but it was fun to see them both on the screen at the same time. So...
Because they're brothers, and real life brothers.
IRL brothers, yeah. They were on Hyperforce together. I got to meet Peter at PMC. I wanted to meet Yoshi, but he was in, I think they said Japan or somewhere for a movie or something.
Well, he's a stuntman too.
Yep, he was actually in Super Sentai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like a background character.
Oh, still, he was in it.
Yep.
So you mentioned Kyle Higgins, and just a separate side note, there was what was it on? I don't know. It was in my Google feed, so I opened it up and I read it. And I sent you the link. It was first couple pages of Soul of the Dragon.
Yeah, I looked at that. I cannot wait for that. It comes out December 11th. I have mine pre-ordered.
By the way, wasn't it supposed to come out December 5th?
Oh, I don't remember. We can check.
When I originally pre-ordered it, it said, available December 5. And then when I looked at it a couple days later, it said, arriving December 11. And I'm so mad because next Sunday, which is December 9, I have to fly to Iowa for work. And I won't be back in North Carolina until the following Friday, which is the 14th. So it'll be sitting on my doorstep for 3 days.
Oh, that's atrocious.
And I want to read it. I'm not going to have anything to do after 3 o'clock every day.
Well, dang.
I know, I want to read it. I'll probably read it in one sitting.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be super long, and hopefully we'll see some characters we haven't seen in a while, and I'm just hoping well, Kyle Higgins writing it, so you know it's going to be good. There's no if it's going to be good or hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah. You definitely know it will be.
I'm just hoping that after this we get more non-Tommy focused stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be a good move. I mean, he shows up every 5 years for the anniversary episode, but he's, referenced or talked about, or he's in the news for something, but he's also out in the convention circuit. So of course he's going to be in, he runs in the same circles that we follow. So.
Yep. I think he's at a convention every weekend. Oh, it feels like almost.
Pretty much. I mean, if not every weekend, maybe probably 2 out of every 3 or 2 out of every 4 in a given month.
You know that man makes bank.
I know what he makes per signature.
Yeah, I do too.
And photo, because I paid for it.
Yep.
But good for him. He made a business out of it. Yeah. And his assistant is awesome.
Oh yeah, Fran. I haven't personally talked to her, but I've seen her online.
Oh, I've talked to her a ton. Her like face to face at Nickel City Con in Buffalo. I went up there to hang out with the guys from the network. Mm-hmm. And Anthony and I had gotten an interview with him because Fran was so accommodating. She's like, yeah, she's like, oh, he'll do it. Not even asking him because she runs the show. And her and I had a good chat about where to have wings because they were in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Where to have, do you want to go to the original Buffalo wing place or do you want to go to the place that's better than the original because the original hasn't improved it at all? And then I talked to her the next day. I was like, so did you go get wings? She's like, no, I had room service and watched Black Panther. And I was like, wasn't it a good movie? And we talked about that for a good 10 minutes and how the Dora Milaje were so much more of the focus of the movie and how they could be their own badass standalone movie. And we talked about that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Panther, but
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It wasn't. My problem is everybody's like, "Oh, it's the best movie I've ever seen," but it was overhyped. That was my problem. It was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't my favorite Marvel movie. I think my favorite Marvel movie is probably Captain America 1 or 2.
Winter Soldier is probably the best one still.
Yeah.
Yeah. First one's good though. First one's really good.
See, I'm a big history buff, so I love the whole World War stuff and Nazis.
Oh, yeah. Not what they stood for, but the whole.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. But and neither am I, but I will tell you that the SS uniforms are the coolest looking uniforms I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Designed by Hugo Boss.
Trying to remember who that is. I've heard the name.
That's a company. Clothing company.
Is
Still in business.
Ha! That's funny. It's not funny. But that's funny.
It's ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else? Since we're veering a little off topic.
I think I'm good.
Me too. Okay, cool. So, once again, we're going to, as we did last episode, this episode will cover the second grouping of 8 episodes from Power Rangers in Space, episodes 9 through 16. And I have to say, I'll have to repeat what I said last time. 1 through 8 were pretty solid. I mean, they were decent. They were pretty decent.
It's a good start. Good starting point.
It's a good foundation. You know, you get some character development. You get some information. This is the second grouping of 8. It's 43 episodes, I believe. So it's roughly the second 20% of the season. So we're approaching midway. So the first episode, well, the 9th episode of the season, the Crate Ride Invasion. This was really pretty much an episode of The Boy Who Cried Wolf with some one-off characters.
Yeah, nobody characters.
Yeah, but basically the ship is struck by a space storm. I forget exactly why, and the simu deck was it glitched so that these goofball-looking putty patrollers they basically become real. Yeah, and then a very abbreviated version of They Live happened as they went and assimilated into the city.
Yeah, that was probably the weird. In Space had a lot of weird episodes, but this was probably the weirdest one. Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked the way it was mixing a whole bunch of different things. Like in a few later episodes, they'll have a Mad Max motif, which might just be leftover Turbo stuff. Fucking Justin. That stupid kid. But this was just a nothing episode, filler more than anything. What was the storm? The storm was based on. Doesn't matter. My notes don't say, so it's not important. Episode 10, The Wasp with a Heart, the Waspicle, which, by the way, kudos to these goofy names. They're so punny, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
There's one, Lionizer is a later one. He's not in this episode. So Waspicle, he's a wasp. There's a lot of bug motifs too. He's a wasp, and he doesn't want to be a bad guy until the Sting King, which is equally hilarious, tells him that he should attack the Power Rangers, and he'll go down in the history books as the monster that took out the Power Rangers. And that was all the logic that the Waspicle needed until he actually went into battle with Cassie, and then he couldn't shoot her.
I can't do it.
Oh my goodness. He was... My favorite, though, in this episode is when he's imagining that he's going to go attack this outdoor restaurant. And he's like, I'll go attack this guy. And he only sees him from behind. And in his mind, he's like, I'll attack this guy. And the guy turns around and he's scared shitless. Until he goes and he attacks the guy. And he turns around to be an old man. And he drops what looks like a whole tray, like a cafeteria tray full of popcorn.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. The Saber, what is it? Your dealio, the Saber sphere. Is that the right thing?
The what now?
The Saber sphere, the gun, the Andros' gun attachment.
Oh, Spiral Saber booster mode.
That's it. Yeah, that makes that makes an appearance. So that is pretty cool. I do like that. That'd be a nice little prop to have, or a Nerf gun for that.
I mean,
Come on,
Hasbro, you hear us.
You should listen. You should watch.
We want some revenue from this, though.
I just want some freebies.
I want some money.
That'd be cool too.
I'm broke. I need monies.
Yeah, Hasbro though, they ain't messing with no broke. You don't get that reference, do you?
The song?
Okay, then you do. The edited version of the song.
Nice.
She ain't messing with no broke. That's the radio friendly version. Because we're white.
Oh yeah, I glow in the dark.
Oh, dude, Casper's like, damn, you're white, man. Put on some sunblock or something.
Did.
You're the whitest man in America. Long story short, Ecliptor. Yeah, he tells Waspicable to kill the Pink Ranger, and he can't. Ecliptor goes in for the kill on somebody.
Cassie?
Probably. Oh, yeah, but he's stopped by Astronema. Let's see here. Stinking shoots, but Waspicable sacrifices himself. Doesn't die, though. And in the end, Waspicable, he retrieves these balloons that were let loose at this birthday party that Cassie was conveniently at earlier. Just some no-name person that just shows up
just randomly there. You know, I'm a Power Ranger, but I'm going to go to some kid's birthday party.
Well, it's like, have you ever watched Jew Ranger? Mighty Morphin Season 1 Sentai version?
I've seen some of them, but not a lot.
It's so weird in that they become friends with these certain people that only show up in one episode. And they're rocking this outfit like Boy, the Yellow Ranger, spelled B-O-I. Yes. He's wearing so it's like a rope circle that goes like in front. It's half circle, and then it folds over his shoulders, and it's a circle in the back half, like a gigantic plate, but it's made out of rope, and it's got a cutout for his head. It's like, who would want to be friends with a guy wearing that outfit, or that as an outer layer of clothing? That's not ironic.
It's 2018. You know, I feel like people are wearing stuff like that.
This was filmed in 1991.
But 2018 is crazy, so almost 2019. Yeah.
True. I mean, now I guess it would make less sense, which means it would make more sense.
Wear it to an ABC party.
What is an ABC party?
Anything but clothes.
Rope is not clothing. True.
Yeah.
True. There you go. There was one note in this episode that I wrote down here that Ecliptor called Astronema my princess.
Mm-hmm.
And that he would do anything for her, basically at her service. So, kind of lends to that theory of, the parents.
Yeah, he could be her father.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going into it knowing that that's a theory. I mean, I read the wiki, and it said that he's her adoptive father because he raises her, but...
Could be biological. Just transformed into Ecliptor.
No different than in Dino Charge, where Dino Thunder...
Yeah, where Mesogog is Trent's father. Well, they're the same person. Mesogog and Anton Mercer. Same person.
I was talking about Smitty.
Oh, Zeltrax?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Well, that's the only thing that I know about that season, other than Tommy needed some time off, so he did some voiceover and went home and was trapped in his suit for a couple episodes.
It was more like half the season.
Okay. I think he has a little bit of pull.
No, he was talking about that him coming back for Dino Thunder, and he said he walked in and they wanted him to audition for the role of Tommy. He's like, screw this, I'm out. And they're like, hold up, you got the part. And he's like, I'm Tommy, what do you mean audition?
That is kind of silly. Like, why would you make your biggest star audition for a role that he has aged into as a doctor 10 years later?
Please try and cast somebody else as Tommy. I would love to see how that goes over with the fandom.
Oh my goodness, you would have 5 viewers.
If that.
They'd be kids because they wouldn't know otherwise.
That would piss so many people off. It'd have been so funny if they tried to cast somebody else. Tommy returns in Dino Thunder. Who is this?
Can you imagine if you went to a convention and there was somebody there that was like, "Hi, I'm Tommy," or he signs his name, Dummy McActor or whatever his name is, because you'd have to be a blackballed actor, whatever, and he just signs it Tommy in quotes. It's like, what kind of horse shit is this? This isn't Tommy.
Like, what are you smoking, my dude?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I was Tommy. At least I was supposed to be.
It's like it's the same concept with the original Yellow Ranger. She goes to conventions.
Oh, it's so weird.
She goes to the conventions and she signs stuff as the Yellow Ranger, even though she was only in one episode.
And it was an aggressive episode too.
I mean, I don't blame her for it, but like, I personally wouldn't get anything signed from her.
Yeah, I mean, the tone of the episode is much different too.
It's super weird.
Who starts a fight in a bowling alley?
White people.
True. That's true, they do. Alrighty. Episode 11 of the season, the Delta Discovery.
Had my boy in it, the Phantom Ranger.
Oh, I thought you meant Zordon.
Oh, no. I mean, Zordon was cool, but the Phantom Ranger, that's who I want to see a backstory of. Come on, Kyle. You know you need one. We need to know who the Phantom Ranger is.
So, give me a little bit of background on it, because I was as I was reading, and I'm assuming that the Phantom Ranger is a holdover from Turbo.
Yeah, he was introduced in Turbo. He gave the Turbo Rangers their upgraded Megazords. He had his power ruby stolen by Divatox, got it back, left, had a thing with Cassie. Yep.
And they never revealed who he is.
Never.
And I know that they don't reveal it. It actually got cut.
From Countdown to Destruction, there was supposed to be 3 or 4 parts. But because they cut it down to 2, that was one thing that got cut. And some dude tried to argue with me on my YouTube channel because I made a video about who the Phantom Ranger could be. And dude was like, Zordon has a brother, this, that, and the third. You should know this stuff. And I'm like, oh boy, what? I can read you the comment because I was heated. I was like, I understand YouTube is one of those things you gotta be like, oh, okay, whatever. But come on, bro.
So,
I'm
what is your theory on who it is?
So the media is saying Shuki wanted it to be a robot, like the
Robo Knight?
Not Robo Knight. God, what is his name? The Super Sentai version of
the cop from.
He's the one that is in every special, the Red Ranger or whatever. I don't know. It's like he's like an embodiment of past Sentais. That's who. That's what Shuki wanted the Phantom Ranger to be, and then there was other media that said it was Justin's dad, Zordon's son, Billy Cranston.
Justin's dad is clueless as it gets.
I was like, yeah, Justin's dad. Okay, sure, my guy. But nah, they were like Zordon's son, and I'm like, but Zordon just left. Why would his son come? And then they were like Billy, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, Billy created the powers because he's the one who created Ecliptor. Yeah, dude, it's so many different theories out there. But he does originate from Eltar. No, the dude in the comments. See, I'm still salty about this. Because he's like, the Phantom Ranger. It's something about from Elgar, and I'm like, you mean Eltar, my guy?
Elgar is the douchebag in the comic relief, and he's not funny at all.
Yeah. When I start a comment with, oh boy, where do I start with this one? I'm going to have fun with that. Yeah, and he never responded. Because he knew I was right. I was like, all right.
Well, it's not bad being right. I'm a fan of it myself.
See, there's only one video I've ever posted where I was wrong.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the... I thought they had casted the Gold Ranger, and it was Colby Strong. Mm-hmm. And then I released the video, and I'm like, all right, cool. But then I went back and reread it, and it was just speculation. This dude tried to roast me, and I was like, all right, cool, dude. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to put people out there. But I was like, all right, dude, like, you act like you never made a mistake before. He's like, well, I don't have a YouTube channel. And I'm like, all right, well, then leave mine alone. If it's that big of a deal, I'll fix it. And I took down the video, and then he posted it in a group and on his timeline. Somebody deleted it from the group. Yeah. I was like, what a douchebag.
Yeah, people are that. It happens.
All right, I'm done with my rant.
That's okay. So in the Delta Discovery, Divatox has Zordon in her custody, and her what is that? Wet, muddy paratroopers. I forget what they're called.
Piranatrons?
That's the ones. So they are there, and Astronoma's there. Eventually, the Phantom Ranger goes into Predator mode and sends a transmission. Power Rangers get it. They come to Hercuron, and man, Phantom Ranger was in a fight sequence for about way too long, like non-stop, to the point where he got shit stomped.
He was the GOAT, though. I loved him. I don't know what it is. Like, if I could cosplay as one Ranger, it'd be the Phantom Ranger.
He's got like football shoulder pads.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's just always been one of my favorite Rangers.
Yeah. But basically his point in this episode is to give Andros a disc to get to the Delta megaship, which is unprotected, and blah blah blah. There's a crocodile on Earth. The rest of the team has to go back and fight it. They're getting beat up until the Delta Megazord shows up, and they return to Hercuron to search for the Phantom Ranger. He left a little video thing, and he says he left to find Zordon, and after, about 5-7 seconds, he said, there's another video that comes up. He says, hey, Cassie, I'll be all right.
Yeah, that was such a wasted opportunity with Phantom Ranger and Cassie. At least in my opinion.
She could have just said something under her breath like, oh, let's say the guy's name was Bill. It's like, oh, Bill, I won't stop searching for you, or something like that. Just to kind of put his name out there.
Yeah. If
they can't reveal who it is, but, at the end of the season and it's cut, there's really nothing else you can do. You can't go back and fix it.
Yeah. A lot of things should have been fixed with the Phantom Ranger. Honestly, my theory, though, is, or something I want to see, Q Ranger, the Super Sentai.
Which one?
The one before Patrol Ranger versus Lupin Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see him come back in that as, like, a mentor.
If he's a mentor, though, and is he in the Sentai, is he a robot or is he a person?
I think he's just a robot. He was a nobody character in the Sentai.
Really? They expanded?
Yeah, I don't know what his exact role in the Sentai was, but I was watching a video of people saying that he was like a nobody in the Sentai, but in like the Power Ranger community, he's huge.
He's got a pretty cool outfit.
Yeah.
I've always liked Gozei Knight was pretty cool in the equivalent of Megaforce, and he was just he was just they basically downgraded him to a Zord, a robot, a 6th Ranger robot that became a Zord.
A nobody character.
Yeah, more or less. His figure art's pretty cool. I have it over there somewhere.
Yeah, I have like one figure art, and it's the Silver Ranger from Super Mega Force.
Oh, I that one I thought about getting. That's Gokai Silver.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I do like that one.
I got a weakness for silver.
The Karyuger ones are pretty cool too. They come with an extra arm with their super duper armor.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The box is pretty deep too, compared to the other ones.
I'm just hoping these Lightning Collection is actually pretty cool. That Hasbro's coming out with. We got removable heads, so,
That's kind of cool.
The Rangers can hold their helmets. Like, when can you think of a figure that has done that before? Like, there's been very few.
Because they'd be holding a removable head, the neck piece would have to be able to be either removed or slid upward into the neck,
Yeah.
inside the head, so it wouldn't look weird.
I mean, they did that with what was it? Mystic Force. Their legendary modes, or not legendary mode though. God, what was it called? I don't remember the name of it, but it was their upgraded mode.
Mm-hmm.
They had the toys came with removable heads.
No. Nifty.
So that was the only time I could think of it.
I can't think of any other time where they had. I mean, except for like current toy runs. I can't think of it. I mean, the flippable heads, if you remember those.
Yeah, I have a few of them actually, and then they re-released a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which was I was
yeah.
never a big fan of those because they were big and bulky, and like
The chest was gigantic.
just looked like Brock Lesnar, like about to F5 people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, although they did have that little palm thing, a little tab in there for the gun, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
No. That was the bigger ones. That was the big with the kicking action. I think I have one right here. Nope, wrong box. It's in a different box over there. It's in that closet right there, I think. So, okay. So, the relevance of the Delta Discovery is they get the Delta Megazord.
Which was an awesome Zord.
It was really cool. Not Gatling gun fingers.
That's all you need.
The Dragon Zord had missiles, which is also pretty cool. But this thing was like, hey, we're just going to shoot everything and anything.
Yeah.
Great Evilizer. Bulk Skull and the weirdo Professor. He makes a evil ray, which I don't think I've ever seen this done before, ever. Or everywhere.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
what do you know? The bad guys steal it and make a bigger one.
Oh my God! Really?
Who would have seen that coming?
Yeah, basically. Like, oh, never saw that coming.
Mm-hmm. And on a trip back from a mission on some random planet, the yellow galaxy glider was shot with this Evilizer ray, and it tries to buck her off, and then she's just like, F this, get out of here. I'm getting out of here. Andros and her go back on his board.
Got a little close.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Let's see here. So there's 5 monsters, which they reused Stinking, by the way. He was got a couple episodes ago. And
Gotta stick to the budget.
Yep, got to reuse those monsters, but just don't call attention to it. The Delta Megazord was taken over by the Evilizer Ray.
Oh my God! Who knew?
When have we've never seen Zords be taken over before?
I think we've seen it in like every season.
Yep. And let's see. They are eventually able to reverse the signal with science-ish.
If that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, science. Power Ranger science. Let's go with that. And last 2 notes. Astronema says, go get Mama Mite. And that happens in the next episode. No, yeah, I think. And they go back and recover the yellow astroglider once they reverse the nastiness of it. Now, for these next 2 episodes, here are my notes. I just want you to see how many notes I've taken on this one.
Jesus. I
Some
got
of them are
a book, but it doesn't have nearly as many. Like, I have like 3 books, but none of them have notes in it for real. I think the last notes I took in this one was for my video on Jacqueline Sislowski on how old she was.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, what was the other one? I wrote notes for Outfoxed. But I can't write notes like that. That's some big notes, dude.
Well, keep in mind, I've not seen these episodes yet either.
Oh, okay.
You have. So I'm like, oh, is this important? Sure, why not? I did this episode. We have our first note is Creeper and Hip in quotes. Grandma. This is Ashley's grandma. Shows up in a cab, sits there, and uses her binoculars to spy on her from 30 feet away. In plain sight, by the way. And then throws an envelope at her without calling her name first, which Ashley catches. and is excited to see her weirdo grandma.
Welcome to Power Rangers.
Yeah. Let me ask you. If Grandma was Danny DeVito, how much better would this episode have been?
Grandpa? I'd have loved it.
Oh, man. Or Frank Reynolds.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on that show. I love It's Always Sunny.
I saw your post with Danny DeVito as Zordon, and it made me laugh hysterically.
I died when I saw that. I'm like, no, they didn't. And I was like, I need that.
Have you sent that to Chris?
No, I haven't actually. I don't know if he watches It's Always Sunny.
Oh, well, if he doesn't, he should, just because it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I wonder if they could... Oh. So there's... Hear me out on this one. So there's Dennis, Dee, Mac, and Frank, and Charlie. So there's 5 on the show, right? What if they did a Power Rangers show? Like a Power Rangers themed show? And they had... Like if they struck up a friendship with Chris, and he was the 6th Ranger...
That would go completely awful, but I would love to watch it.
That would be great because it would be awful on purpose.
That would probably be the best episode I've ever seen. I would die. I would cry.
So what we're saying is, Rob McElhenney, you need to search out and find Christopher Kamen Lee because he probably would add a little bit more cynicism to the show. At least one episode. I think it would be hilarious.
I love it when he's in videos. Like he was in an MMPR Toys video or Chris Cantata Force videos, and
where the dude never takes his hat off backwards.
You mean Bruno? Yeah, Bruno.
Dude, that guy needs to get like new headgear or something. Like I like his show, I like his videos, but that backwards hat that high on his head,
it's got to go, bro. But
yeah,
nah,
man, you're not 12.
He had a video with like Chris, and he's like Andros. He's like, I told you, I'm not Andros. I don't know. That was probably one of my favorite things. I was like, that's funny.
It's like William Shatner, Get a Life.
Yeah.
I watched a video this morning, the Geeks from East LA.
Oh, Danny Castellanos, I think.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars versus Power Rangers in space.
Oh, Chris was in that too, yeah.
For all of about 3 seconds.
Yeah, he said it really didn't take him that long to shoot that whole thing, and then they said they went for tacos afterwards. Who can beat tacos after filming?
Nobody.
It makes me want tacos now, but I've spent too much money on fast food, and I'm kind of broke right now. So, guess who's not getting tacos tonight?
Tough break, man. Sorry to hear. I might make tacos tomorrow. Make them at home.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I had tacos last week, so I have most of the stuff done already.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. So, Creeper Grandma tries to set Ashley up with pretty much everybody. And there's this termite monster, Mama Mite, which they handily defeat in about 4 minutes.
My biggest problem with this episode is she's like, oh, Carlos is my boyfriend, but Andros doesn't get jealous. But in the later episodes, which you'll watch here soon, he gets jealous when Zane is hitting on Ashley. So it pisses me off.
Well, Zane's his buddy, right?
Yeah.
So he knows how Zane is.
I guess it's just irritating because, like, I was like, why couldn't you just be like, oh, hold up, like, get a little bit jealous, you know?
Well, and when they went, they, like, spied on them at the date. Every step of the way they went on this date. And it was weird. Like, why would you go watch somebody on a date?
Yeah, it's like watching one of those MTV shows where people go on dates, and it's like, that's weird, bro.
Yes. So this all these termite eggs hatch under the ground, and they eat their weapons, which they never address later. By the way.
Welcome to Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Ranger science. They regenerated, but they're made of hardened universal steel.
Ninja steel.
That would have been an awesome tie-in, somehow.
Some way.
Yeah, like, oh, our morphers are made from melted down Power Rangers in space weapons.
It could work.
Anyways, yeah, it could. Yeah, Chip Lynn will figure it out. So, long story short, all these little tiny termites join together to make one monster of the day, Termitus.
That's a name.
Yep. They like to do this where they combine a lot of little things into one big thing. Like they did it in the beginning of Dino Charge, like the first episode where all those little weird...
Vivix, yeah. And
yes.
Skullgator? Or no, it's not Skullgator.
They do it a couple times but throughout the season, but I don't know. They do it. That's all I know. They have no weapons, and the Yellow Ranger uses her special attack, a blade arm. That's new.
¿Qué?
Yep.
¿Por qué?
And to beat the monster that grows, they have to use the Delta Megazord because the Astro Megazord is temporarily incapacitated. And then the Astro Delta Megazord uses a freeze mode and then does a flying power punch. Nothing episode.
Yeah, it was just a throwaway episode, but I feel like the later episodes were better than the beginning episodes.
Yeah, I think they really have to set up the most everything, and then they can just kind of incorporate everything. No more origin story.
Yeah.
The episode 14, the Beryllian Sting. Now, this one was a good episode, I thought, because it had stakes. It just wasn't executed as well as it could have been. Like later in the episode, where the bugs are on the bridge, and they're trying to attack Ashley, who's left there, while TJ and Andros go get the antidote. Let's see. So this one I have a whole lot of notes for. But they're basically looking for Zordon still. There's a fake distress signal by Ecliptor. And then this is where we meet Darkonda. He shows up, and he has a history with Ecliptor. But we don't know it. He also has a sweet sword that actually extends from just longer than a dagger to like a pretty big broadsword.
Got that extendo clip.
Yeah, pretty much. And he is real good at putting Ecliptor down and eventually driving a wedge between him and Astronema during his story arc. He's also a bounty hunter. Where have we heard that before?
There's been so many bounty hunter and Power Rangers history.
Yeah, but if this is Star Wars related.
Oh.
He's a Mandalorian.
Boba the Fett.
Mm-hmm.
My backpack's got jets.
Yes, he do. Let's see here. He can also teleport wherever the hell he wants to go, apparently.
That's really useful, actually.
Yep, he relays that he met Astronema long ago. She doesn't remember.
Because he's the one that kidnaps her.
Oh, we find that out later. And let's see here. There's a bug. It bites Carlos. And he goes back to the ship. He's in the med bay, and he's got this pretty rad body paint going on.
Yeah, this wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty decent. They find the antidote, and while they're looking for it, there's a chase scene between TJ and a bug.
Yeah.
Andrew shoots it down because he's like, F that, I don't want to get near that thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeet, I ain't messing with all that.
Mm-hmm. So while it's the three of them is on the ship, TJ and Andros are out looking. No, before they go out looking, what's his face? Bad actor. Carlos. He turns into a beryllium bug because that's the side effect. You get bitten, and within hours you turn into a beryllium bug. We find this happened on KO-35, hence the antidote. He bites Cassie after he holds her hostage for all of, 3 seconds?
Yeah.
And so they strap her in, and Ashley is left to fend for herself on the bridge. Cassie escapes because she's turned into a beryllium bug. And the doors open because they're ripped open by what was Carlos and what was Cassie. They're slowly closing in on Ashley, and you can't see it because he's standing right behind one of them. TJ shoots the magical mist, at both of them. And they win. They return to human form. Then they go back down to the planet again. There's another bug. Darkanda releases it. Magically, it becomes a monster of the day.
It's like, sure, why not? Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Then he makes it grow on his own. And they handily defeat it with the Astro Megazord. Probably because this takes place before they get the Delta Megazord and Sentai. Hunch.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So then, eventually back on the Astro ship, Andros looks at his mini disc again. And he basically sees through the trees. He can't really make out what it is. I could, but he couldn't see what it was in the woods that took Astronema, Corone. It was Darkanda.
What is Darkanda?
Yes. Alrighty. Episode 15. TJ's Identity Crisis. And I wrote before I watched it, I wrote a note here. It says, "Is he part man, part pizza?"
We're here to toss your salad.
So first of all, what reminds him that he's TJ? So, well, first of all, TJ wins the 1998 Slam Dunk contest because they're playing basketball in the Simi deck, and he does this NBA Jam style flip slam dunk.
LeBron James.
LeBron T. James.
LeBron James.
Yeah, so they put this big ass scanner on Brakoya, and it's recon. They can't be seen by anybody. Well, guess who sees them? Darkanda. And this is going to help them find Zordon super fast. So then Ecliptor and Darkanda, they're bitching at each other. They're bickering, like a married couple. They go down, they have to destroy the thing, and we hear just a little bit more from Darkanda about Ecliptor and how he and Astronema history there that she doesn't know, but he does, and it's a secret, and don't tell, shh. And they destroy the scanner. Power Rangers come down, they're like, "Hey assholes, what the hell?" 3 of them get trapped, pink, yellow, and black. Rangers get trapped in these VR boxes of ice, cubes of ice, whatever they are. And so then Darkanda is like, "Hey, I don't like Ecliptor. I'm going to nip this in the bud." So as he's attacking the Red Ranger, as Ecliptor's attacking Andros, and pretty much trying to be like, "Hey, I want to hip you to this info real quick." Darkanda's like, "Nah, that's cool. You don't have to." And he hits him in the back with his sword, and then he absorbs him and becomes
Darkliptor.
Yeah, come up with a new name.
I like it.
I like the look though. It was kind of neat.
You hear that, Hasbro? Darkliptor toy. We need it.
Darkliptor and Ecliptor.
And Darkanda.
Yeah.
And Astronema.
3-pack. Not Astronema. Andros and Astronema and Corone. Or do you want Lost Galaxy Pink as another 3-pack?
I don't know. Honestly, any would be cool.
I hope they put out the remaining keys that they haven't put out.
I mean, there's only a few keys they haven't released, but
yeah. Come on, get with the program. The best scene in this episode is when TJ gets the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, his helmet is busted.
And then he loses his memory. He's like, "Oh no, I don't know who I am."
And then what reminds him that he's TJ is a basketball.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
That's like, yeah. I mean, that's on par with casting from Mighty Morphin Season 1.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
You get where I'm going, though.
Yes.
Let's see here. So this episode saw Dark Clipter splitting back into
Dark Condor clipped her.
yeah, twice. Once because he got beat up pretty bad, and then once because they had grown and they were going to go. They threw the super duper fists from the Astro. What's it called? The Astro Delta Megazord. And so he split willingly and made a Clipper take the brunt of the hit. End of the episode. Well, I forgot there's a part where TJ helps rescue the other Rangers. That's kind of implied. And so then they Astro Delta Megazord, blah, blah, blah. They're bickering back on the Dark Fortress, which, by the way, is a pretty cool graphic. I really like that, except it just looks really dated by now.
It do, but I want it.
I know, it's half of it's not really invisible per se, but it's like, I mean, it fits into like the VR motif, the Matrix motif from Mega Ranger. But Astronema makes those two fools equals because she didn't hear the full conversation that just happened. She only saw where Ecliptor was going to try to whoop up on Darkonda.
Whoop that trick.
Yep. Episode 16, Flashes of Darkonda. This is the most backstory I think we've gotten.
That was probably the best episode. Episode 16 is the best one up to that point.
Probably pretty darn close. They go to the Dagobah system, by the way.
What?
Yeah, you mentioned that last time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Dagobah, huh?
Planet Onyx.
Yep. Let's see. So Andros watches his mini disc again, and he turns to a side monitor over here, and he sees that it's Darkonda that took Corone. Why didn't you just look to your right before?
Welcome to Power Rangers.
Yep. I guess he didn't learn how to look before then. So then we go to the Mad Max world, also known as Planet Onyx. Was this holdover from Turbo? This whole theme and motif?
What, Onyx?
Not Onyx itself, but like the Mad Max, the 1880s Western, Back to the Future type look.
I think that was just on Planet Onyx. I don't think they showed anything like that in Turbo.
Okay. But it was very, very Mad Maxian, and there was a cantina as well, also known as a bar, where they had weirdos playing instruments.
And they were playing for, what is it, Zenobitars?
I don't even remember. I didn't care to write that down.
I think that's the currency. It makes an appearance again in Lost Galaxy when Corone finds the Galaxy Saber.
Well, at least there's continuity.
Back then there was.
Yeah, true. Well, they don't have to have it now because they're not interconnected.
I mean, it's kind of... I don't know. The whole Ninja Steel Dimensions in Danger kind of fixed everything.
To a point.
It made everything logical. It didn't really fix it.
Yes, Power Rangers logical.
As logical as you can get with Power Rangers.
True. Very true. Let's see what happens here. On Onyx, Andros, Jedi Andros, complete with a, black pantyhose over his face?
Yeah.
He joins into this game. No, even before that, Darkonda goes up to the shopkeep in this bar, and the second floor is like a hotel room, but this guy's operating out of this, so we'll call him the shopkeep. Orders a vial of a strength potion. What do you know? Ecliptor's there to double-cross him. And poisons the strength potion, and he'll never know. Once he buys it, Darkonda goes down and joins a poker game where they play poker with round cards, which is very weird. And Jedi Andros joins. This no-name has 5 key cards that he stole during the Battle of Eltar from Zordon. Andros wins. He goes to the bar, has a drink, and Darkonda joins him at the bar, says he'll trade those cards for information about KO-35, and Darkonda tells him basically that he took a girl from there, and there's nothing else there, and he's about to say what happened to the girl, but he sees Andros's red morpher, and there's a sword fight. Which, did this sword fight remind you of like Peter Pan, Hook, maybe? Pirates of the Caribbean?
Kind of reminded me of like Zorro.
Yes, that's exactly right, because they go upstairs, and then they jump onto the chandelier, well, Andros does, to get away, and
Galaxy Glider, hang 10.
Yeah. Super cool. He also steals the cards back from Darkonda. And then he goes back to the ship where he says, hey, I want those back. Alpha validates the key cards and starts working on decrypting them. Andros, this is where Andros starts to become an edgy loner again, or tries to, and they're like, nah, we're going with you. They fight Darkonda, who drinks his super strength potion, and he wipes the floor with them until the poison kicks in.
Yeah, he gave him the work.
Yeah, he was not messing around. He's like, I'm just going to beat the hell out of you.
Like, you're going to get these hands.
Yep, and then he flees once he runs into like a hallway or something, which, who's waiting for him? Ecliptor to say, ha, 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 I have a gun now too, ha, ha, ha.
Yep.
Well, basically he says, I poisoned you, and it'll destroy you. So then Darkonda mutates, and he grows on his own. And then they bring the Astro Delta Megazord, and he, even though he is poisoned and mutated, he can still reverse weapon attacks, such as the Flying Power Punch, which is the finisher. And they get beat up. They use the last of their energy to make a flash tornado cyclone out of energy.
Yeah.
And they thought it beat him, but no. Just a piece fell off and became another monster. Weird. And then they're getting their butts kicked, and then they throw the Astro Delta Megazord down the street on its back, and then it says to be continued.
I'm mad we don't get any like episodes like that to be continued. Or the whole next time on Power Rangers.
It was actually a good cliffhanger, I thought. Like I liked it. I took 2/3 a page of notes just on that episode. I think it was the most. I watched the next 2 or 3 episodes as well, but I think it's a nice cliffhanger to leave it on. It's like, oh no, what'll happen? Like Green with Evil Part 3 or 4. Was it 3? Where there's Goldar, Scorpina, and Green Ranger are all circling the Megazord, and there's a solar eclipse.
I thought that was 2. It might have been 3 though.
He's got the Sword of Darkness, which is 1. He's not big yet, he doesn't have the Dragon Flute yet, so I thought that was 4. So maybe it was 3. Yeah, you might be right. It doesn't matter. Anyway, but it's like and this isn't even called like part 1 in the episode. It's just to be continued. It's like, huh.
It's like, all right, so I gotta wait next week for part 2. And it's like, nope, no part 2. And the next episode is the Rangers Mega Voyage.
Yeah, which we'll leave that for. Fuck it, we could talk about that. We'll talk about that one.
So we don't leave people off on a cliffhanger.
Well, Power Rangers did.
When they were good, yeah, they used to.
Yeah, so basically they separate, and Alpha's like, I'll stay here and get my butt kicked inside the Astro Megazord by these 2 monsters, or by this monster, because that little shaving that fell off of, what's his face?
Darkonda.
Thank you. He followed the Delta Megaship because it went back to the Megaship, because Alpha decrypted the part of the key codes. It said, hey, there's a new weapon on Jupiter's moons, because Zordon had way too much foresight. He must have hand-ringed.
He could just see in the future, or he was God writing everything.
He must have hand-ringed non-stop
Yeah.
Like, oh no, shit's gonna get real one of these days. Let's see here. Astronema finds out from that guy that had the cards that lost him in the poker game what happened, and then they teleport to Jupiter inside the base once the Power Rangers are there, and there's a fight. What's his face? Why am I blanking on his name? Andros. No, Andros is like, hey, I pushed a bunch of buttons on the computer and this door opened. Everybody hurry up and get over here. And the one with the key card, because it was a game of hot potato, Cassie, is running. She's stopped and the door starts closing with the other 4 teammates in the door. Like, hey, hurry up, let's go. You're the one we kind of need anyway. Power Rangers logic.
Welcome to Power Rangers.
Yep. So they go through, they're searching the base, they find some more cards, some more key cards, and what do you know? It's a new Megazord. Well, it's five individual Zords. Mega V1, Mega V2, Mega V3, Mega V4, and Mega V5. Yeah, they handily make quick use of the monster of the day.
Probably one of the coolest Megazords, if we're being honest.
Oh my goodness! But shouldn't it have been bigger than the Astro Megazord?
One would think, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It comes back to Earth, and they use the Mega V3 missile to eradicate Darkonda. So we are led to believe. There's no foreshadowing there. It's just that's.
Yeah, you think he's destroyed, but he comes back because he has like 9 lives, like a cat.
Yeah. Well, they thought they beat him the first time with the Astro Delta Megazord too.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, they're repairing the Astro Mega ship because it got beat the fuck up.
Yeah, it took an ass whooping.
Deca wasn't even talking for a while.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, it was cool.
My favorite Deca episode again was Turtles episode. I've been certified turtleified.
So goofy.
I loved it though. It was funny.
It was something.
But
so so that's 9 through 16 plus a bonus episode.
17. And then the next episode is episode 18, True Blue to the Rescue. Guest starred Blake Foster.
Okay, I gotta hold that one till tomorrow, till next time, because I can't stand Justin, and I cannot stand his dad even more.
But his dad could be the Phantom Ranger.
After watching this episode, no, he could not. No. He didn't even know his son was pissed off, upset that he couldn't go to work, or that he couldn't hang out with his dad.
Am I the only one who hated the way he said dad? But dad!
Oh, there's an extra Y in there. D-A-Y-D.
But dad!
It's like you in the South. You know when people that have lived here for 70 years, you is not a 3-letter word, but a 3-syllable word.
Yeah.
You.
Don't go down yonder and get in and go.
No, come on, that's Boomhauer right there. That's a little different.
True.
Or an auctioneer.
True.
So that's 9 through 17. We'll cover 18 through something next time. 25. No, 125. Something. We'll figure it out. Yeah. So I'll put the poll on Instagram. What do you guys want to be called? Spacers? Space bars? Or write-in vote? And
Cyber Squadron?
Cyber Scholars.
There we go.
I think that's the winner right there.
We'll put it on Instagram and let them decide.
I'll put 3 comments below. Here's what I'll do, because there's more than one now. So I'll put 3 comments below. Like the comment that you like the most.
That works. I know which one I'll be voting for. Which one will you be voting for?
Ooh, I like the salesmanship. The marketing is on point right there. I don't know which one I'll be voting for. So, what? Anything else in closing?
I think we should do an episode on who we think the Phantom Ranger is, and where we think he is now in the Power Rangers universe.
Ooh, we might have to do that. Save that for later, so that I can watch more seasons
All
and
right.
catch up on Phantom Ranger stuff. But that is a good idea to not write down right now because I can't find my pen.
It's okay. We have it on video and audio. We'll remember.
Yes, it's recorded. So yeah, where are they now? We know where Tommy Oliver is because Soul of the Dragon comes out December 11.
Which we should live stream and review it after. Oh wait, you're not gonna be home. Oops.
If the internet at the hotel is good,
I'll call you and read it to you.
oh shit, I'm not gonna have a copy of it. Urgh. Maybe I'll have it sent to the hotel.
That could work. Would you order it through Amazon? Yeah, you could just change the shipping address.
Yeah, I guess I just got to figure out which hotel because I'm going to Iowa, but I'm going to 4 different cities in Iowa in 5 days.
That sounds awful. That sounds atrocious. I would never do that.
It's part of my job now. So it's what's the word? It's part of my job.
Got to do what you got to do.
There's a little bit to do, yeah. That's all I know.
I feels it.
Yeah, happens. So, what else? Any more final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Any new episodes coming besides this one?
Well, we just got our last episode of the Saban era, or Neo Saban era, with the Christmas episode of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, and Hasbro's Power Rangers Beast Morphers will be premiering in February. So, I'm super excited about that.
So this is the first time that I'm on video with these right beside me. These are what you get if you, and those of you listening on audio only, go to the video. This is a big one. See, there's a little red one and a big red one.
They look like Brock Lesnar.
They do, man. Their shoulders are gigantic.
F5.
Look at either he's got so much stress in his shoulders, or he's holding them up like this, or he's just got.
They're gonna F5 putties.
So those are the freebies. You send me an email with a show topic or that promotes a good discussion. There they are. You get your choice of whichever one. Red, yellow, red. Start over, Shawn. Jeez. Learn your colors. Red, white, or black. Mighty Morphin. And the midget. And the tiny red one. The miniature one.
PC, bro.
Got me in trouble at work last week. PC.
I can't be PC at work because I'd be cussing everybody out.
I'm not even going to tell you the story.
You can tell me it off camera.
Yeah, because I don't need it out there.
Y'all don't need to know our personal lives.
Mm-hmm. So, that's all I have. That's all you have, yes?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So for Christian Ingram, the Power Rangers guy, for Shawn Fritz, the other host, power down.
We're out.